Okay, so welcome back everyone. Today is lesson 4 of term 2. Okay, if you're new here, I'm Miss Chang. Okay, Miss Chang. Right, let's give you a little bit of introduction first. Okay, as usual, before we go to our worksheet. Okay, so I'm from Accelerator Center. Okay, we specialize in mathematics. So we help students with borderline grades turn around the results within a short period of time. So if you're struggling with problem sums, then you can come to us and we'll help you with that. Okay, so a lot of you struggle with problem sums, be it maybe you are not able to identify the keywords, okay, in the question, right? You just see a lot of words, you're not able to visualize it. Okay, we can help you with the model drawing or the different type of strategies to solving the problem sums. Right, so the objective of these lessons is to help improve your understanding and your confidence in tackling problem sums. Right, so problem sums, they can be solved systematically. So we'll show you the step-by-step approach on how to solve the problem sums. Right, we'll also cover topics that are integral to the upcoming assessments. Right, so some of you might have finished your WA already. Okay, some of you might not have. Right, maybe you have mid-years coming up as well. Right, so we'll cover some topics that are important for you to revise. Okay, this is also to lay the foundation for PSLE if you are P6 this year, and also it will be relevant to you if next year if you're primary 5 this year. Okay, so it's good to start early. Right, you have a longer runway. Okay, so the lesson outline, as usual, will be doing 2 strategies. Okay, strategy 1 and strategy 2. Later on, we'll see what are the 2 strategies. Okay, so the ground rules would be, okay, as usual, the audio will be muted. So if you want to answer questions or ask questions, okay, they'll all be done through the chat. All right, so you just need to type into the chat and I'll take a look. Okay, so please participate. Okay, if you have the answer, you can just type into the chat. Okay, don't spam the chat, be considerate, listen attentively, and write down the solutions and have fun. Okay, so this week we're doing something a bit more special. Okay, we're having a little competition. So there will be this link that I'll be sending you into the chat here. Okay, so you can click on it. I'll give you more information at the end of the lesson. Okay, so it'll be just a bonus quiz that you can go and answer, and you stand a chance to win some prizes. Okay, so I'll elaborate a little bit more at the end of the lesson. So let's go to the questions first. Okay, so today we're also covering ratio. So different types of ratio strategies. Okay, today we're doing single unchanged. Last week was equivalent ratio. Okay, so this week we're doing single unchanged. Right, so the steps to solving this type of question, okay, would be first to fill in the BCA table. So for those of you who were in my class, right, I'm sure you know what's BCA table, right? Okay, those of you who are not sure what it is, okay, it means before, change, after. Right, so later on I would elaborate a little bit more. So after you fill in the table, okay, you want to check which item is unchanged. Make the unchanged item equivalent using your common multiple. Find one unit and solve for the answer. Okay, so step by step. Right, and then strategy 2 will be touching on some trending ratio questions, which means questions that are very common, commonly seen in your exam papers. So any point in time, if you feel that you need to write down any notes, okay, you can fill it in into this box here. So you have everything with you when you're going to revise for your exam. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Okay, a box contains some red and blue marbles in the ratio 2 to 5. Okay, this is the ratio. Now, for those of you who have already touched on ratio, okay, when they say red to blue, this is red to blue, right? Which means you must follow the order that they give it to you. Okay, if it's red to blue, it's red to blue, not blue to red. So the 2 here belongs to red, 5 belongs to blue. After 30 blue marbles were added to the box, okay, the ratio became 3 to 8, which means this is also red to blue. Find the number of red marbles in the box. So let's fill in the BCA table first. Okay, we have red to blue. Okay, that's the ratio. So we're going to put here B for B4. Okay, leave some space below here, and we're going to write change. Leave some space and write after. Okay, so how do you recognize this type of question, BCA question? Okay, usually they'll give you a starting ratio, okay, at first. And then in between something happens. Okay, maybe they remove a certain item, maybe they add in a certain item. That's the change. Okay, and at the end they'll give you another ratio. That's going to be the after ratio. So that's when you can fill it in to your BCA. So the starting ratio is 2:5. The ending ratio, okay, from your question here is 3 to 8. In between, okay, what happened before the ratio changed? 30 blue marbles were added. If you add, means you plus. So under blue marbles here, we're going to add 30. Okay, but just take note. Ratio, okay, these are ratio means they can be represented as units. Okay, so the 3, 8, 2, 5, they are units. But 30 here will be the number of marbles. Alright, so what didn't change here? If you read the question, did they say anything about the red marbles? Okay, go and read the question. Did they add any red? Did they take away any red marbles? Okay, yeah. Lina, Meredith, correct. Okay, Rachel, Celeste, yes. The red didn't change. Okay, so if you look at your table, you have to make the red the same. From the start to the end, it shouldn't change. Okay, red unchanged. So what's your next step? Okay, if you look at the steps on your first page, make it the same. Okay, equivalent. Make the unchanged item the same because it shouldn't change. So common multiple of 2 and 3. What would that be? First common multiple. Okay, yes, I see a lot of answers. 6. Okay. So let's make it to 6. Alright, if you have a different colored pen, okay, that would be good. Right, you use a different colored pen. Multiply by 3 first, okay, for the first row of ratio. And we're going to multiply by 2 here in the second set of ratio to get 6 and 6. But do we stop here? Your ratio, okay, can you just times to one of it? Okay, correct, Jovin? You must also times to the blue, correct? Okay, so this would be 5 times 3, 15. 8 times 2, 16. Okay, good. right? Because ratio is always in one set, okay? It's like a group. So if you times 3 here, here also must times 3. You times 2 here, here also must times 2. So now the green ratio, okay, or the other colored pen that you used, okay, is the correct ratio that we're using because the rate didn't change, 6 and 6, before and after. Therefore, from 15 units, okay, you ended up with 16 units. So how many units, okay, does this 30 blue marbles represent? From 15 to 16, how many units do you add? Okay, good. I see a lot of you putting 1. So in between, we added 1 unit. So that 1 unit must be the 30 blue marbles that were added into the box. Okay, now let's look for what they want. Okay, they want the red marbles. So does it matter looking at the before or after for the red? Do you need to see, okay, do I look at before or after? Does it matter? Okay, great. A lot of you saying no, doesn't matter because your rate didn't change. So at the start is 6 units, at the end is also 6 units. So now all you have to do is look for 6 units. 30 times 6. Your final answer would be, okay, thank you, Lisa, 180. Okay, yeah, a lot of you have 180. Okay, so that's your answer for question 1. Okay, those of you who came in late, okay, you can quickly copy it down. I'll be going through the next question soon. Okay. Let's go to question 2. Any questions for question 1? If you're still lost, okay, we do question 2, then you should be a lot clearer. Okay, don't have, okay, we do question 2. Okay, a few more seconds. Those of you who are done, you can read the next question also while waiting. Okay, let's look at question 2. Okay, there were 80 raccoons in a zoo. The ratio of female raccoons to male raccoons in the zoo was 2 to 3. When some more female raccoons joined the zoo, okay, the ratio of female raccoons to male raccoons became 3 to 2. How many raccoons were there altogether in the end? Okay, so they give you the starting ratio. Something happened in between. Okay, some female raccoons joined, and at the end, it became 3 to 2. So this is BCA, right? That's how you identify the question. So let's fill it in. Okay, this will be female to male, according to the question. Okay, always follow the question, female to male. So 2 to 3. Right, so before, leave some space, change, leave some space, and after. You can just write BCA if you know what it means, but if you're new, I suggest you spell it out. Okay. So this will be 2 to 3 at first. Okay, and the ending ratio is 3 to 2. Okay, just fill in the table according to the question. We have not done any calculations. This is just filling in the table so that we can visualize the question better. Okay, now when some more female raccoons join the zoo, now this question didn't tell you how many female raccoons joined. So in this case, we just put a box here. Okay, we add some, but we don't know how many. So now, is it female or male raccoons that is unchanged? Okay, you can type into the chat which one is unchanged, female or male. Okay, very good. Everyone's saying the male. Right? For those of you who don't know why, if you read the question, did they say anything happened to the male raccoons? Did they leave the zoo? Did they join the zoo? Okay, don't have means the male raccoons at the start to the end is the same. Okay, male raccoons unchanged. Okay, didn't change. Therefore, what do we do next? If it's unchanged, it should be the same. But is it the same? 3 and 2. Okay, not the same. So you must do what? Find what? Yes, common multiple. Good. Of 2 and 3. Which will be 6. Yes, so it's like question 1. So using your different colored pen, okay, let's change it to 6. Times 2 times 3. So 6 here, 6 here. So over here, also times 2. Okay, ratio is always together. Therefore, this also times 3. 3 times 3, 9. So now the green ratio is the correct ratio that we're using because male raccoons shouldn't change. So in the before, it will be 6. In the after, it is also 6. Now, the thing about this question is, what's the value given? Okay, let's go back to the question. The only value given is that we have a total of 80 raccoons in the zoo. So how many units, okay, do these raccoons represent? It's total. Okay, great. So I see some answers ready. Here, I ask again. Total is 80 raccoons. How many units do you think it represents? This total at first. Okay, I see some wrong answers also. Alright, let me repeat again. Do you use the blue ratio or the green ratio? Which one is the correct ratio you should use? Blue or green? Okay, great. Green. Because the male shouldn't change. The blue is different. Okay, male 3, after is 2. Right, so it should be green. So in the before, the female you have 4 units. The male you have 6. So total will be 4 plus 6, correct. So those of you who put 10 units, that's correct. 10 units will represent the 80 at the beginning. So 10 units is equals to 80 raccoons. Okay, good job, those of you who got 10 units. So 1 unit will be 80 divided by 10, which will be 8. Okay. So now, how many raccoons were there altogether in the end? Alright, so in the end, we want total at the end. How many units at the end? Okay, yep, Jovin. The rest of you can type in the chat. How many units do you think we're looking for raccoons in the end? In the end, we must be looking at after. Okay, very good. Okay, I see a lot of 15. Okay, so if you don't know how to get 15, you must be adding here. 9 units to 6 units. 15. Okay, so 15 units would be 15 times 8. Your final answer would be, you use your calculator, go and calculate. Okay, thank you. 120 raccoons. Okay, so I see a question, right? Why do we use the green ratio? In ratio, you only use the equivalent ratio to help you solve the questions. Okay, which means the male here is not equivalent. You see 3 and 2. Before and after for male should be the same. But it's not the same. According to the question, from 3 it became 2. So it doesn't make sense that we're using this set of ratio. So we must do something such that it becomes the same. Alright, so we find common multiple of 3 and 2 to make it the same. So 6 and 6. Okay, now it's the same. Right, you have 6 at the beginning, 6 at the end. Nothing happened to the male raccoons. Therefore, you have to use the green ratio. Okay, not the blue one. The blue one won't get you anything. Okay, it doesn't make sense also. How can you have 3 and then 2 at the end? Okay, so you make it such that it's the same first. Okay, does that answer your question? Okay, great. Anything else before we move on? Okay, I'm going to go to question 3. Okay, then let's go to question 3. Alright. Okay, so question 3, Alina baked some cherry pies and apple pies in a ratio 3 to 1. Okay, so C to A here. After giving away 25 cherry pies, the ratio of the number of cherry pies, okay, to the number of apple pies is 1 to 2, which means it is still C to A. How many pies did Alina bake in all? Okay, so this ratio at the end, right? Okay, you have to be careful because sometimes they want to be tricky. Okay, they can be tricky by changing the ratio of the number of apple pies to cherry pies became 1 to 2. Then you must remember to switch the ratio in the after row. Okay, so that's if they make the question tricky. So always read the question carefully first before you go and fill in the table. Okay, because after that, if you didn't get it right, okay, the ratio at the start, okay, the question, the answer at the end will be wrong. Okay, so this will be C to A before, change after. Okay, leave some space in between. So 3 to 1, 1 to 2. You give away 25 cherry pies. Give away means subtract. So under cherry pies here, okay, C for cherry pies, the change will be minus 25. Okay, and I repeat again, ratio is different from this 25. Ratio can mean units. This can mean units. Okay, but 25 is the actual number of cherry pies that were given away. Okay, so now can you tell me which is unchanged? Cherry pies or apple pies? You type in the chat. Cherry pies or apple pies are unchanged. Unchanged means didn't change. Okay, good. Everyone saying apple pies. Oh no, I see a cherry pie. Okay, it should be apple pies, huh? Because if you read the question, nothing happened to the apple pies. They only mentioned giving away 25 cherry pies. Okay, nothing happened to the apple pies. So apple pies unchanged. Yeah, okay, those of you who put cherry pies, you go and read the question again. So now, how do we make it the same? Before is 1, after is 2. Okay, not the same. If it's the same, we can just use this ratio, but it's not the same. Alright, this is 1, this is 2. So common multiple of 1 and 2, you can just change it to, yeah, okay, yes. Change to 2 here. So use your other colored pen. We're gonna times 2 here. So this is 2. This will be 3 times 2, 6. Okay, so there are times where you do not need to multiply to both. There are times where you only multiply to 1. But which ratio do you use? You just use the set of ratio, okay, that is correct, which means apple pies didn't change. Before is 2, after is also 2. So we're using this, okay, and this to compare. So let's compare. Alright, from 6 units, cherry pies, you ended up with 1 unit. So how many units do the 25 cherry pies represent? What do you think? You type in the chats. Okay, good. 5. Okay, 5 units. Because at the start is 6, you end up with 1. So you must have subtracted away 5 units. 6 minus 5. Therefore, 5 units is equal to the 25 cherry pies that were given away. Okay, so now from here, can you try to solve for the answer? Okay, once you have the answer, can you type it, not type it, select the answer in the poll. Okay, the final answer, they're asking for how many pies did Alina bake in all? Okay, so can you try? Take note of how many units you should be looking for. Okay, how many units you're looking for if you want whatever she baked in all. Do you look at the before? Do you look at the after? Okay, you try first. Okay, remember you should be using the correct ratio to help you, which is the one that I boxed up in red. Okay, a few more seconds. Okay. If those of you still doing, you want to select the answer, okay, so please select it first. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so a lot of you chose 40 and a few of you chose 15 and some 100 and 200. Okay, now 40 is correct. Those of you who chose 40, okay, well done. Let's take a look at how you find your 40. Now, definitely you're looking for 1 unit here. Alright, which is your 25 divided by 5. 5. So that's when you'll get confused. Okay, how many pies did Elena bake in all? Do you look at before or after? Okay, do you look at before or after? You can type in the chat. Especially those of you who didn't get it right. Okay, good. Before. Because if you're looking at after, there are some cherry pies, okay, 25 of them that were given away already. So you look at after, okay, you need to add back the 25 afterwards. So let's just look at the before, okay, whereby she has not given away anything. Okay, before. So before got how many units? Remember, you're looking at the correct ratio, which is 6 cherry pies, 6 units of cherry pies, and 2 units of apple pies. Okay, this total at first. Okay, which will be 6 units plus 2 units. So you're looking for 8 units in total. 5 times 8 is your 40. Okay, some of you might have done it a different way. Maybe you look at after first, which is 3 units. After you find your 3 units, just remember to add back the 25 that you removed, okay, because that will also get you 40. Because these cherry pies were also baked by Elena, okay, you give away doesn't mean she didn't bake it, okay, so you must look at which way you're doing. Okay, so if you're doing the after first, add back the 25. Okay, so those of you who didn't get it correct, and you copy it down, okay, try and understand it. Okay, use the correct ratio. We're gonna go to question 4. Okay, so before I start on question 4, can you all read the question by yourself and let me know what is unchanged? Okay, so you can select it in the poll here. Read question 4. Alright, select what is unchanged. Okay, the one on the screen is question 3. Yeah? So I'm talking about question 4. Unchanged means did not change. Nothing happened, okay, to the item. It's okay if you press wrong. You know your own answer can ready. Okay. Okay, a few more seconds. Okay, read question 4. Tell me what is unchanged. Okay, I think I can stop the poll already. Okay, let's see what you chose, huh? Okay, very good. Majority of you chose number of girls. Okay, so why did girls not change? Okay, I see some explanations already in the chats. Okay, Tisha, yeah. Girls did not change as the question did not say that in the question. Okay, they didn't say anything about the girls in question 4. Okay, only 15 boys left the school hall. Okay, 15 boys left the school hall. Alright, that's all. They didn't say anything about the girls. So the girls didn't change. In your head, you must be thinking, okay, so the before and the after, I must make it the same if it's not the same for the girls. So let's fill in the table. Okay, if you're confident, you can start on it already. Okay, just check on the screen if you got it right. Okay, so we have girls to boys. Okay, remember, go according to the question. If they say girls first, it's girls first, then boys. Then we have before, leave some space, change, leave some space, and after. So that will be 4 to 3. In the end, it will be 3 to 1. As for the change, 15 boys left. If you leave the hall, you're going to get lesser boys. So subtract the 15 away. Okay, so everyone said girls unchanged. Because nothing happened here. So you must check, is it the same? You have 4, you have 3. Okay, not the same. So you have to make it the same. Then it will be the correct ratio. So use your different colored pen. Let's multiply. Okay, how to make it the same? Okay, I see some answers in the chat already. Okay, common multiple of 4 and 3. First common multiple. Okay, great. Those of you who put 12, that's correct. Of course, there are many common multiples, but you always want to use the first one because the number is smaller. Okay, you don't want to work with too big of the numbers. If not, it will be very confusing. So we times 3 here, times 4 here. This is 12 and 12. Okay, but don't forget, it's ratio, which means this also must times 3. Okay, and this will also times 4. So the correct ratio will be the green ratio. Now you can compare. The 15 boys who left represents how many units subtracted? Okay, can you type into the chat? Okay, good. Yes, 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. So you must have subtracted 5 units in between. So the 5 units represents the 15 boys who left. So this is 15. So 1 unit will be 15 divided by 5, 3. So how many boys were left in the school hall? Left would mean after, okay, the boys left the school hall. So we're looking at how many units. Okay, good. I see you're typing in already so fast. Yes, 4 units. 4 units of boys left. Not 1, okay, not 1. 1 is the wrong ratio. Okay, don't look at the wrong ratio. 4 units. So 4 units will be your 3 times 4. There are 12 boys left in the school hall. Correct. Okay, so once you found 1 unit, anything they ask, you can find already. Okay, if they want at first, you can also look for it. After, you can also look for it. Total also can look for it. Okay, you just need to make sure you use the green ratio. Okay, the one that you made the same for the goals. Okay, I hope it's clearer after 4 of the same type of questions. So your answer will be 12. 12 boys left in the school hall. Okay, let's move on to the next strategy, which is your trending ratio questions. Okay, we're still copying a little bit here. Now, the ratio of the number of adults to the number of children at a zoo, okay, was 2 to 1. There were 885 boys and 637 girls at the zoo. Altogether, how many people were at the zoo? Okay, first step, go and write down the ratio. So this would be adults to children, 2 to 1. So there were 885 boys and 637 girls, but we only have this ratio here. Okay, so what's the repeated identity in this case? Boys plus girls. Okay, for those of you who came for last week class, right? Okay, you should know boys plus girls will give you children. Okay, yep, Shivani, correct, children. So if this is children, it can represent the 1 unit here. Okay, so let's look for it. Boys plus girls, it will be 885 plus 637. Can you calculate this? Okay, what's the total number of boys and girls? Okay, thank you. 1,522. So boys plus girls is also children. Okay, it is the same. All right, which means 1 unit is your 1522. So now they're asking you how many people. So how many units are they looking for in total? Okay, fantastic. 3 units. All right, because adults plus children, this would be 3 units in total. So looking for 3 units, 1,522 times 3. What will be your final answer? Okay, Jai, Elisa. Okay, correct. Reem, yep. 4,566. 4,566. Okay, those of you who typed 4,566, that's correct. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Question 2. Let's read the question. Okay, 744 girls and 1,498 boys signed up for a mathematics competition. On the actual day of the competition, some boys were absent. As a result, the ratio of the number of girls, 2 boys, taking part in the competition was 6 to 11. How many boys were absent for the competition? Okay, so this question is actually your single unchanged. Okay, so if you're not sure why, okay, they didn't give you a starting ratio, but they did give you the number of girls and the number of boys, which you can find ratio here. Okay, so it's just a little bit different. So they can tweak it such a way that's a little bit different. Okay, but if you recognize it is BCA, single unchanged, okay, you'll be able to solve it. Let's fill in the table. Girls to boys before, change, after. So at the start, it will be 7, 4, 4 girls, 2, 1, 4, 9, 8. Okay, so this is the ratio, but it's just that it's not simplified, which is also okay. You can just put it in here like this. And the after is going to be 6 to 11. Some boys were absent. Okay, so they minus some boys over here. Okay, so who is unchanged? Girls or boys? Yes, okay, yes. So a lot of you picking it up already. Girls didn't change because nothing happened, which means they must be the same. So 7, 4, 4, and 6. Okay, so how to make it the same? You just need to check, okay, what must you multiply to this to get your 7, 4, 4? To do the opposite, 7, 4, 4 divide by 6. What will you get? Okay, yes, 1, 2, 4. So you times 1, 2, 4 here. Here also times 1, 2, 4, which will be, okay, 11 times your 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 6, 4. Okay, thank you. So now, how many boys were absent for the competition? Okay, these are not units anymore. These are the actual number, okay, because we took the actual number to put here, which means all we have to do now is just to subtract. So the boys who are absent would be 1498 minus 1364, because these are the actual number of boys. So your final answer would be, yes, 134. I see some of you calculate wrong. You all press properly, 134. Okay, imagine you're almost getting to the answer, then you press in the calculator wrongly. Very wasted. Okay, so you be very careful. Okay, now let's go to question 3. Any questions so far? You can just type in the chat if you got any questions. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen ready to go to question 3. Okay, so quickly copy it down. Okay, question 3. Now the table shows the amount of money saved and spent by 4 boys over a week. Okay, what's the ratio of the amount of money saved by the boys to the amount of money spent by the boys? Give your answer in its simplest form. So we need the amount of money saved to, okay, the amount of money spent. So we only have the individual amounts, so we need to add it up. All right, so we have the amount saved, okay, total. So 12 plus 8 plus 16 plus 9. Which will get you, okay, you can just use your calculator and type it in. Okay, Nikita, Yanqing, okay, 45. Okay, everyone have 45, huh? Then the amount, okay, total amount spent. Okay, do the same. Add it up. 23, 22, 17, and 33. Okay, what will you get? I see some answers a bit different. Okay, you should get 95. If you got 95, that's good. Okay, those of you who didn't get 95, can you go and type again? Okay, so what is the ratio? Is it 45 to 95? Okay, or 95 to 45? Or both also can? One or two? Before you simplify. Yes, okay, good. 1. Okay, cannot 2. 2 is the other way around. You cannot think that, because you add correctly, then it's also correct. Okay, no. You must go according to what they say. If they want save first, you must put 45 first. Okay, 2, spent. So now simplify it. Okay, simplify. Or did B? Both are divisible by what? Yes, 9 to 19, divide by 5. Okay, I saw a question. Okay, so if your working is the other way around, but your final answer is correct, okay, it's okay. So you just make sure you put this as your final answer. Okay, but if you go and write save to spend, they put the other way around, then like that, of course, wrong. Okay, because you didn't put in the correct values. Okay. Right, so I'm going to talk about the bonus quiz that you can you can win some prizes. Okay, so finish copying first. Okay, if you still need the question, you can ask me later. Okay, after I go through some slides first. Okay, so the bonus quiz, I'm going to show you the link. Okay, I'm going to send it into the group so you can go and click on it. Right, so when you click on this link, okay, it will bring you to the website. Okay, so I'll show you up. Okay, it will bring you here. You can also go to the website, right, our official website, and click on bonus quiz. So you just need to fill in your name, your email, okay, all your particulars, okay, and press next. Okay, so once you press next, okay, all the questions will come out, and you go and select your answers. Let's see if I can press. Okay, cannot. So you must fill it in first. Okay, there are 3 questions. Okay, so try your best to get all 3 correct. Okay, and we'll select winners from that. Okay, so there are 3. We're gonna choose 3 winners. Okay, you can stand a chance to win $50 worth of prizes. Okay, so we'll choose the winners next week. Okay, during the lesson, the last lesson of term 2. Okay. Right, so the deadline will be this Friday. So if you want to go and stand a chance to win the prize, okay, quickly go and do the questions. Okay, the questions are questions that I've done in the past few lessons in term 2. Okay, so if you've been with me since the start of lesson 1, okay, of term 2, okay, you'll know how to do these questions, just a little bit different only. Okay, so by 30th April, this Friday, okay, we'll remove the link. So if you want to solve it and stand a chance to win, okay, you can quickly go and try it. Yeah, I sent the link already. I send again. So you can click on it. Okay, so I repeat again, you just fill in your particulars. press next, answer all 3 questions. Okay, and we'll know, yeah, email is compulsory. Okay, everything is compulsory. So you go and type in everything for your particulars. Okay, so today we did our single unchanged ratio and trending ratio questions. Okay, which do you find the most difficult? Or not difficult at all? Okay. Some say not difficult. Strategy 1, yeah, okay. If you're new to it, definitely it will be a little bit more difficult for you. Yeah, okay, so if you are still weak in it, okay, you go and cover the answers and try again. Okay, but if you feel that you need more practice, okay, because your upcoming assessment is around the corner, right? Especially P5, P6, okay, you have your WA2 or your mid-year exam. We have an upcoming program, which is the June holiday bootcamp. All right, so if you want to sign up, okay, you can go to the website. Okay, I'll send this to the chat also. Okay, so you go to the link, right, and click on June holiday bootcamp. So it look like this, PSLE, this is for P6. Okay, then we have primary 5 and primary 4. So when you click into it, okay, got countdown for SA2 to scare you. Okay, not to scare you, to be mentally prepared. All right, then we have the topics covered. So if you want to sign up, okay, we have on-site and online as well. Online is also through Zoom. Okay, so just like how we are conducting it today, right, through Zoom. And on-site will be at the center at Parkway. So if you are interested, okay, go and register, fill in the form on the website, okay, and submit. Then we'll respond to you within 1 or 2 days. Okay. So if you feel that you're still weak in your problem sums, okay, do consider coming for our bootcamp, right? Definitely it will help you, okay, to prepare for your upcoming assessments. Okay, so with that, right, just want to repeat, if you want to complete the bonus quiz, okay, quickly go and try the questions. Deadline is by this Friday. And if you want to sign up for our June holiday bootcamp, just go to our website and fill in the form. If you have siblings, primary 4, primary 6, primary 5, okay, you can also go and sign up. Okay. Right, so thank you for joining us today. If you got any questions, you can contact us by email, right, or WhatsApp. Anything about our programs, you can also go to our website to take a look. Okay. Yeah, so any other questions, you can type in the chat now. If you want to screenshot this page, you can screenshot now. Okay, bye-bye.